TikTok. TikTok.
I'm back.
Hey y'all, gravity. Any day above ground living. We're back. Give me 1 second. I am just putting the final touches on this show because this is going to be fun. They asked earlier today if I was going to talk about this. Y'all knew the answer.
Yes. Yes.
That's right. We're not missing this. We want all this. So, as you know, Don Lemon and Elon Musk spoke, and Don Lemon lost his gig at X because they say that he asked Elon some questions and Elon ain't like it. But what we're going to do is we're not going to take the words of other people. We're going to watch it for ourselves, and we will make that determination. I don't know what I'm saying. And we may even open up the phone lines afterwards and let y'all sound off. So before we start, let's see who's in the building again. We got Jerry Bedford, Vic Stat, Torian Rain. Oh, I got time today because I'm off on a Monday. We got time. And Miss Nisi, for those who haven't said anything in the chat and the live stream, good afternoon and good evening. By the way, they disliked it to hell. So you know the trolls walked in. All right. We're gonna have on the live chat because I want to see what they were saying. So what we'll do is we got everything set up. We will do 1.5. Oh, you could do custom. You can do a custom. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You could do custom? You could do custom speeds now. Oh, we're going to have fun with this. Oh, we're going to do 1.35. I'm copywriting that now. I do 1.35. But all right. Here we go. Fair use. Somebody put the fair use in the deal. God, the music sucks. Bruh. Okay, we don't care about the intro. We don't care. Dude, why is Elon every time he open his eyes, he look like he just don't want to be there. All right.
You say you're a free speech absolutist, right? And there are no conditions.
Yeah, free speech is as much as possible within the bounds of the law.
Yeah. So the reason I'm saying that is because there are no conditions on this interview. You said that, we'll speak to you for an hour. I don't like sound bites, so I welcome that. So let's get into it. So we're here in Austin.
So they only had an interview for an hour, but yeah. He actually strictly adhered to it. That's good. But free speech. So we already know he's lying within the context of the law. Okay, if that was in the context of the law, you should let it all ride. Everybody should have equal opportunity to be seeing what they say, but we know that's not true. But okay.
Since South by Southwest is going on, we're at the Tesla headquarters. You are in the process of moving SpaceX here, I understand?
No. So SpaceX has a massive facility in South Texas where we build and launch Starship. And then we have in Bastrop near Austin, we are about to start production at a Starlink, a large Starlink factory for Starlink terminals. But it's but we're not shutting down any facilities in California.
Listen, we are here as part of the launch of a news interview show that is going to be on.
Ooh, hey, you gotta exit from California. Hey, that crowd, that man just told you, I'm not shutting anything down in California. Remember how y'all were championing him leaving California for Texas?
X.com. It's coming as a media industry, as you know, is going through.
That didn't age well.
X has also been affected by that. Where do you see X.com's role in the future of news and journalism, Elon?
Well, I think I see the X as it's really the number one source of news in the world. So it is the number one way that people actually are informed about any kind of news, meaning real-time events, is on the X platform, formerly Twitter. There's nothing even close for real-time news. So we also want to expand upon that, and we have done so with long-form content. So instead of just doing what used to be called tweets, you can now do long-form posts. You can post an entire essay. In fact, you can now post an entire book to the platform. You can do long-form video content, so you can do up to 4-hour video segments. We really want news in whatever form it is, or information, I should say, in whatever form it is, to be available on our platform, whether it's short, long, text, pictures, video, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and some of the stuff that we do, long form video, interview shows, what have you.
Yeah.
You reached out over the summer and you said it would be great to have Maddo, Don Lemon, and others on the left put on this platform. You receive full support. The digital town square is for all.
Again, that didn't age well.
I just mean that we want to make sure that there are a wide variety of viewpoints. That it's we always have, for example, Tucker Carlson, who most people will view as being on the right, and that's quite a prominent name on the right. We want to have prominent names on the left as well, to provide different views of points of view, as well as centrists. Just basically a wide range of viewpoints on the platform, so users can hear different opinions. They can hear, what's your point of view, what's Tucker's point of view, and people can make their own decision about what they believe.
You didn't mean that I'm on the left? Did you think that?
I thought you were on the left, but yeah. I don't know. But let's just say I don't know what the left is or the right is, frankly, these days, because things can be quite polarized. But my impression was that you're more likely to be described as on the left than the right. My sense is you're sort of center left. I don't know. You tell me.
Well, did you ever watch me on CNN, or did you watch?
I saw segments. Yeah, I saw segments.
Yeah.
But CNN is generally considered left.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
Why do I say CNN is generally considered left? I think if you look at any sort of media survey of what is on the left or right, I think they would say, like, for example, Fox is on the right and CNN is on the left.
Yeah. So that's what.
Am I missing something here?
Okay. Are you missing something? I don't know. I think that when I read that, I said, like many of my critics or detractors, they never really watched me on CNN. They just saw the clips of me either on social media or maybe on Fox News or conservative media, where it's sort of where I've become a character or a caricature of what I actually am, and it's taken out of context.
Sure. Well, how would you?
Uh-oh. It sounds like the right, again, acronyms are whooping their ass. Because I have Intelligent Black Society in here. We've never thought CNN was on the left. We never thought that. We thought they were a more left-leaning version of Fox News. I know, win, lose, or rug. You caught that. You caught that. He literally just caught Elon in a trap, and Elon didn't even realize it. You and your ilk on X, y'all do no research. He literally just said that. Y'all done no research because you assume things. Vic Stat, we'll answer that later. We'll answer that later, but let's continue.
You describe yourself.
I would describe myself as someone who is I am independent in my thinking, and I vote for people based on the issues and how I feel about it, not necessarily because of political leaning of some sort.
Well, I agree with that.
Hey, Don, we're going to do this early because I want to get this out the way. We're going to get this out the way.
You bring him here. Right here. Do you hear me? Right here.
What?
You heard what I said. Just do it.
That's right. Get over here. Let's have a conversation.
That approach. I think that's generally how people should take things, which is, I mean, there are a whole sort of set of issues which are sort of somewhat arbitrary.
Look at this. Look at this Transformers comment. Elon Musk is the most important person of the century. Are you insane? Yeah, you got to be insane. Him. A welfare king. Yes, you see those dislikes. Go ahead.
Really bucketed into right or left. But I think most citizens would think that they would agree with some things on the left, but not everything, or they agree on some things on the right, but not everything. So that's what I think most people feel, I guess.
How much longer, and maybe the answer is forever, how much longer are we going to have to call it the formerly known as Twitter? I mean, even Prince went back to Prince instead of, is it always going to be X?
It's definitely always going to be X.
So X is going through some changes. There's a lot of media companies are going through some changes. You're in charge of an incredible platform, Elon. How do you feel that's going?
I think it's going pretty well so far. We're seeing record usage. We've added a tremendous amount of functionality. I mentioned that it used to be that you could only do short text and maybe a picture or something like that, short video. But now you can do long form text, long form video. We've added audio video calling, so you can not just do text DMs, you can do audio video calling. We've improved the algorithm, I think, significantly, and made the system faster and better, and that's reflected in the increased usage.
So let's talk about that, because you said you wanted all points of view, right? It's a digital town square for all.
Yeah.
It's the platform has kind of picked up where some conservative media has left off. That moving to the right, increasingly becoming part of the conservative dialogue, sometimes even conspiracy theories, right? There was an article recently written about you saying that you, Donald Trump, and X were the most important people or places or whatever icons when it comes to
Elon. Sorry, Don. Didn't mean to interrupt you. I have a question. I've been raising my hand for a little while. I got a question, sir. You talk about functionality and all that. That's a wonderful thing. You need to have that as a stepping stone to further technologies. I have a question, though, sir.
Look at these bunch of nutmegger pigs. Kenny, forget about the looks. What about the money? Oh, the money.
What about the money, sir? How much money have you generated, sir? That's what we want to know. How much money have you generated? Have you gotten those corporations that stopped doing ads? Have you got them back? That's what we need to know.
Do you agree with that? How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, there are nonsense articles written all the time, and I certainly wouldn't agree with that one. I put it in the nonsense category. So the objective fact of the matter, in my opinion, was that that old Twitter was fundamentally a tool of the far left. And that was really, I think, a lot of it was due to being located in San Francisco, Berkeley. And so it wanted to essentially project the SF Berkeley political dogma worldwide.
You think it was far left?
Yes, I do.
Hey, old Twitter users, I think we can answer that question for him. He said that old Twitter was for the far left. I'll let y'all legislate that. I got to take a piss. Go ahead. I'll put on the Jeopardy music and I'll let y'all answer that question. All right. So let's see if anybody said anything. Nope. Y'all didn't care. Say less.
It used to get. I actually got off the platform because I would get so much hate tweets when it was called in, so much hate tweets, and just got from right-wing conspiracy theorists being called everything from fag to
Sure. It's the internet, that people will do.
Wow. Hey, shout out to YouTube. They let him say the F word. Well, ain't that something? YouTube, don't get mad at me because I didn't know he was going to say that word. Don't you get mad at me.
I mean, I've been called every name times 1,000.
Yeah. Do you agree that it's right now and that even it's moved into sort of MAGA
No,
conspiracy theory?
I certainly don't think it's right. The old school Twitter suspended and suppressed accounts that you'd call on the right 10 times more than they did accounts on the left. And even when they did suspend an account on the left, it was because of arguments between two people on the left. The political donations of old Twitter were 99% Democrat. Does that sound left-wing or right-wing to you?
The Twitter donations?
Yes. You know when they look at donations from a company? If a company donates literally 99% of all donations are to Democrats, does that strike you as a left-leaning or a right-leaning?
You mean the company donated? I understand what you're saying.
What I'm trying to tell you is that Twitter employees, people at Twitter, their political donations were 99%, literally 99% to Democrats. That's obviously an extremely left-leaning group.
My question too, leading into this, was about MAGA. And speaking of MAGA, you recently met with Donald Trump in Florida. What did you guys talk about?
I was at a dinner. I was at a breakfast at a friend's place, and Donald Trump came by. That's it.
So you didn't go there to meet him?
No, I went to a friend of mine's house and said Donald Trump's coming by for breakfast. Is that just so you know, like, okay, fine.
What'd you discuss?
Let's just say he did most of the talking.
What
the normal things he says. There was nothing particularly groundbreaking or new, but he, President Trump likes to talk, and so he talked. I don't recall him saying anything that he hasn't said publicly, and it was just a breakfast.
All right. When Loser Rug said, how do you know the people donate are Democrats? It's not that hard to figure it out. Usually you can look up companies or certain individuals to see who they usually give their donations to. Like you can go on opensecrets.org and they'll show. But if he's saying that it's 99% Democrats, that doesn't mean that it's left leaning. It just means that they invested in a platform. And I guarantee you most of those people that donated to Twitter probably did so because Facebook was being very restrictive at the time. Because right when Twitter started blowing up, Facebook started their decline. But again, but Elon he's intelligently dumb. That's what we'll say. He's intelligently dumb. That's all I'm going to say.
Did he ask you for money?
He didn't.
Did he ask you for a donation?
No.
He didn't.
No.
You said you're not going to donate to any candidate.
That's correct.
Why not?
I think
because he'd be a hypocrite.
Well, I'll voice my opinion. I think I don't want to put a thumb on the scale monetarily. That is, significant.
Are you going to loan him money to help pay his bills?
No,
not at all. To his legal bills.
I'm not paying his legal bills in any way, shape, or form.
And he did not ask you for money.
And he did not ask me for money.
Are you going to? So you're not going to endorse a campaign?
You know what? Watch it, Don. Let him work. I may have to give him credit. Now I know this sounds off code. I might have to give him credit. This is how you do in an interview. You have to keep repeating the question. You got to make sure they're married to their stances, because anytime they change, you can go back and say, that's not what you said. I like it so far. We're only 11 minutes in, but we know why the right-leaning Twitter didn't like it.
I may, in the final stretch, endorse a candidate, but I don't know yet. I want to make a considered decision before the election, and if I do, decide to endorse a candidate, then I will explain exactly why.
Are you leaning towards anyone?
No.
You're not leaning towards anyone because you've been.
I'm leaning away from Biden.
You're leaning.
I've made no secret of that.
Are you concerned about losing your security clearance if Biden is reelected? Does that have anything to do with it?
No.
You are leaning away from Biden, but you're not going to endorse anyone. It seems like an endorsement of President Trump because there are only two people who are running now. Nikki Haley is.
You're a lying motherfucker. So we got two other candidates that are running, but I get it. I get it. You don't think they're viable candidates. I get it. I get it.
I mean, a lot could happen between now and the election. So we'll see who, in the final analysis, are the choices for president. And at that point, I may or may not endorse one of the candidates. If I do, I will provide a very detailed explanation of why I'm endorsing one or the other.
At that point, might you contribute or donate?
I think it's unlikely.
So you have been posting up a storm, as you always do in the past couple of weeks, about the redesign of the Tesla Roadster coming at the end of this year. Are there any kind of updates that you can talk about?
Why does that look like? Why does that look like a Chevy Corvette? Mixed with the Acura and NSX.
Extreme flagship EV. I mean, Tesla stock is down in the last 6 months. What's next for the company?
Damn.
The stocks go up and down, but what really matters is, are we making and delivering great products? The Tesla products are outstanding. Last year, the Model Tesla.
Your Tesla products and the parts are outstanding. Yet the battery takes 99 years to decompose and is harmful to the environment.
Model Y was the best-selling car of any kind in the world. So it was about 1.2 million units. It was the best-selling car despite being, I think, around 50% more expensive than the next best-selling vehicle of any kind, not just electric. So
that's why everybody's going to Rivian.
That's a testament to the incredible work of the Tesla team. Yeah. And we launched the Cybertruck. Obviously, that's being very well received. We have, I think, over 1 million orders for the Cybertruck. It's a really special product. I think the Cybertruck is one of those products that comes along really once in several years, maybe once a decade. The Cybertruck is a once a decade product. It is so special, and I think it's our best product.
But everyone improves over time. I mean, Apple. You might have thought my phone was here, but Apple, the phone got better over time. I'm sure that your cars will get better over time. You have been tweeting about the updates in the Roadster. Is there something that we?
Sure. You did mention the Roadster. So, I don't want to give away, much more than what I've said publicly, except that the Roadster will be a collaboration between SpaceX and Tesla. So, you can expect some rockety stuff there.
A flying car?
Maybe.
No, it's going to go about 3,000 miles and then crash into the ground. That car of his is going to pull a Knight Rider and fuck around and do a turbo boost and then go into the pavement, and you're gonna be like this here. And Elon don't pay off. I'm just saying. Who remembers the scene in Men in Black when they were in the tunnel and he told them, the little red button, push the little red button. Maybe the Cybertruck will let you drive on top of tunnels. I'm just saying. I would love to see a Cybertruck pull out his rocket boosters in rush hour traffic. That's going to be fun in LA. And as you think you're getting to your destination, a kite gets in the way from one of the beaches. I think one of them Cybertrucks is going to cause an earthquake in LA. I'm just saying. We know the average battery in Texas only lasts 2 to 3 years. The Tesla battery is going to last 2 fill-ups in West Texas heat. But it's Elon Musk. So while you're waiting for your AAA service, the only thing that's going to work in your Cybertruck is his interface for Twitter, so you can bitch about it. Oh, that's a drop.
Go on.
No, I gotta reserve the cool stuff for the when we actually unveil it. But it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna have some rocket technology in it.
Yes, you'll be able to shoot rockets. You're gonna be able to shoot rockets with this. This is gonna be twisted metal. I swear to you.
I think the only way to do something that's cooler than the Cybertruck is to combine the SpaceX and Tesla technology to create something that's not even really a car.
Then what would it be?
Something that's never existed before.
I'm getting
This motherfucker is trying to create the Jetsons car.
Jetsons vibes.
Totally Jetsons vibes. The one thing I'll be aware, like some things that I have said publicly is that it'll do 0 to 60 in under 1 second. So that's by far faster than any
0 to 60 in
horsepower.
under a second. Did you hear what he just said?
Vibes.
Totally Jetsons vibes. The one thing I'll be aware, like some things that I have said publicly is that it'll do 0 to 60 in under 1 second. So that's by far faster than any sports car that exists.
Why the hell would I want a car that goes from 0 to 60 in under a second? So you're telling me that if I drive down my block from the beginning to the end, I hit 60. I'm in traffic, sir. I'm hitting an intersection. I don't think it's cap, Vic. I think he's going to get people killed. 0 to 60, family, in under a second. Imagine you put on the autopilot before you pull off, and that motherfucker don't stop. Those lawsuits are going to be massive. All right, Elon wants to be that guy. Okay, sure.
And that's not even the most exciting thing about it.
Does it have wings?
Oh, Jesus.
No, it does not have big wings. Because big wings would be unwieldy on the road.
Does it have propellers?
It does not have propellers.
Talk, Don. Now, Don is just trolling right now. And I like Troll Lemon. I like Troll Lemon. Go ahead, Troll Lemon.
What the hell?
Has wheels.
Does it have wheels?
He's trolling.
Those are 20 questions.
Does it have a steering wheel?
Not exactly.
What is it?
It'll have a drive-by-wire yoke, essentially, like a.
This motherfucker is making the steering wheel out of the Night Industries 2000.
Kind of like the way aircraft or modern jets are controlled.
And do you think it's a
Oh, thank you. Hey, he's making a Total Recall car. The taxi. He's making Johnny Cab. What? So wait a minute. So Tesla's whole modus operandi is literally from Total Recall in 1990. Say less. Now, when you buy this Cybertruck, will you become part of the resistance? Will your wife be home trying to learn how to play tennis, then try to murder you? I got more. This Cybertruck, you say, is it only going to be reserved for people that work at a construction site?
You want some more?
I got more. Hey, this Cybertruck, right? Will it grant you access to a brothel where your ex-old lady is currently giving out blowjobs.
You want some more?
I got more. Will you be on the street in your Cybertruck and you get out and stretch your legs? Will somebody named Benny pull up?
You want some more?
I got more. Elon Musk, this Cybertruck you want to talk about, right? Will it involve a climactic battle with your most hated enemy in the world and you make him lose his limbs and tell him you'll see him at a party later?
You want some more?
There's more. Is it programmable that when you get into your Cybertruck, that when you want the air conditioner, you have to use the code word, come on, Cohagen, give these people air?
You want some more?
I got more. This Cybertruck you're creating, right? I'm pretty sure you're probably not going to have a key because these days it's all about the key fob and you just push a button. Now, is the push button, is it going to be like a big old console that has an alien handprint in it and I'm going to have to put it in correctly for it to go all the way down to start the engine? Let me know, Elon Musk.
You want some more?
I got more. When I get into my apartment, is my wife going to try to murder me again? And then she's going to want to tie me up or have me tie her up and have my way with her while her real boyfriend comes to try to take me out.
You want some more?
I got more. Now, will the ex-old lady of mine that was out giving blowjobs at the brothel, is she going to come save my life and then fight my new wife? And then I'm going to have to shoot her in the head.
You want some more?
I don't got no more. But let's get back to this interview.
Way of the future that everyone will follow your lead on this?
I don't think anyone will ever make anything like the roadster that we're going to make.
Let's talk now about SpaceX, Tesla. You got a lot of lawsuits. You've got X.com. You got a lot going on. How do you relax?
Well, I relax. I spend time with my kids, my friends, and I, make somewhat of a nerd technologist. I like playing video games. So I'll play video games with friends online.
Which one?
And lately, I've been playing Diablo, but I've played almost all the games over the years. A long time ago, I was like semi-pro good at Quake. This is really dating me because we're talking about like 125 years ago.
I don't know video games. I just know that my great nephew loves Fortnite and some other stuff. He's always with the headphones and doing the thing. So that helps you relax, right? So
and the nice thing is if you've got friends in different cities and they're playing the same game, you can both go online at the same time and play the game together, even though you're in different cities.
Listen, I'm not asking you anything.
I wonder when he played Quake. And shout out to Quake. I wonder when he played Quake. Is he in the lobby saying you shoot like a nigger?
You want some more?
I don't got no more. That's the only one I got. Vixstat, thank you for the $5 super chat. You said if I buy a Cybertruck, will it sponsor a geriatric fight for presidency between either candidate? Shit. I bet you it'll go in when you start up the car and ask you who you're going to vote for. And if you say the wrong answer, it's not going to turn over. That car is not finna crank. But go ahead.
Anything that anyone else hasn't asked you about your controversial stuff that you tweet? You post a lot of controversial stuff. Is that considered blowing off steam?
Well, I guess I do enjoy using the platform. I mean, I do call the X platform the PvP, or player versus player platform. So in video games, there's player versus like environment, where you're not playing against other people. And then there's PvP, which is like hardcore. You're actually playing against other people. And
but that's blowing off steam for you.
Yeah,
yes.
It is to some degree, not always. I mean, obviously I use it for to post jokes, to post sometimes trivia, sometimes things that are of great importance.
So you do a lot of it at night, like late at night. So when you're doing this, are you sober when you do it?
I love Troll Lemon. Maybe this is the pro-black version of himself, the troll. He asked this man when he be tweeting, is he within all his faculties or is he in libation mode? That is hilarious. Oh my God. Yo, get some. Get some. I like this. Continue.
No, I don't drink. I don't really. No,
You don't really drink?
So you got no drink, no smoke, no nothing. I mean, you smoke pot with Rogan.
I had one puff.
Yeah.
I think anyone who smokes pot can tell I don't know how to smoke pot.
But you've admitted that you have a ketamine prescription.
Yeah.
What's that for?
Well, I mean, it's pretty private to ask somebody about a medical prescription, But I think it's something I'd say like there are times when
I got to give him another clap. That's all he gets. I like that question he just asked. He just took a shot at X again. Hey, Elon, I like how you said it was private for him to ask him why you have a prescription, but you have no problem having people post people's medical information all over your platform. Oh, and also play fake ass doctor, try to diagnose people's mental illnesses and mental states. What happened 4 years ago, family? Yeah, you had a whole bunch of faux ass doctors up there trying to say how George Floyd died. And you let it ride. I know you didn't own X then, but when you bought it, they're still talking about it and you let it ride. No community notes, no nothing. You let it ride. But when somebody asks you your private information, it's a problem. All right. Continue.
I have sort of I don't know, like a negative chemical state in my brain, like depression, I guess, is or like depression that's not linked to any negative views, and then ketamine is helpful for getting one out.
Sir, you just told this man it's inappropriate for asking someone why they have a prescription, and yet you just told this man your whole medical history. What are we doing? What did I tell you, family? They're not smart. This is high IQ. You just scolded this man for asking you why you're taking ketamine, and you proceeded to tell this man why you took ketamine and why you're taking it.
So out of a negative frame of mind. Well, listen, I in fact, I generally, also I'm not a doctor, but I would say if someone has depression issues, they should consider talking to the doctor about ketamine instead of SSRIs.
Listen, I think that ketamine and drug therapy is increasingly becoming more in the mainstream.
Yeah.
Do you think you're doing it under a doctor's care, right?
Yeah. Literally a prescription from a real doctor, not like,
Yeah. But do you feel like you ever abuse it?
I don't think so. If you use too much ketamine, you can't really get work done. So I have a lot of work. So I'm typically putting in like 16-hour days. That's normal for me, and it's rare for me to even take off a weekend day. So I don't really have like a situation where I can be not mentally acute for an extended period of time. Like I can't really get wasted with when.
He said a lot of ketamine can't harm you. I feel like that's what he said. It says a single dose of ketamine can last from 15 minutes to many hours. Because of the unpredictability. Hold on. Where is it? Here we go. Let me see something. Because of the unpredictability of this drug's effect, someone under the influence of ketamine should be monitored 6 hours after reported ketamine use, even if asymptomatic, and monitored 1 to 2 hours after the last symptom is seen. Go ahead.
Because I can't get my work done.
So how often do you take it?
Well, it'd be like a small amount once every other week or something like that.
But there's not on the bottle where it says take this dose this many times a week or whatever. If it's
I'm not sure there's a dose. There are several weeks will go by where I don't use it.
You don't use it.
Yeah, I think it's, like I said, I think what I find ketamine is if you're like literally like a chemical state in your brain that you can't just think yourself out of, then ketamine is helpful for getting you out of a depressive mind state.
You suffer from depression, or you have a depressive mind state? And I asked you as someone who has suffered from depression.
I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that I have like a case of like extended depression. It's just once in a while I get into a negative sort of chemical mind state. Once in a while, it's not a common thing. But once in a while this happens.
Where do you think that comes from?
I think it's just genetic, basically.
You think it's just genetic history?
I think so.
Genetics. Do tell.
So, yeah. I mean, some people are just wired to be happy all the time. Some are unfortunately wired to be sad all the time. And in my case, I'm generally pretty positive and optimistic. But once in a while, I don't know what happens. There's some, like I said, I think it's just chemical tides in your brain. Once in a while, it's like a brain storm.
Yeah. Do you ever worry that this may get in the way of your government contracts and clearances, and also and Wall Street as well?
Well, from a standpoint of Wall Street, what matters is execution. Are you building value for investors? Tesla is worth about as much as the rest of the car industry combined, from nothing. So I know that's pretty good. As I mentioned, we had the best-selling car on Earth last year.
Well, it must be nice to be a welfare king and still be worth something. Must be nice.
So from an investor standpoint, if there is something I'm taking, I should keep taking it.
Have you talk about your ketamine use and depression? Have you also have said, and
The reason I should say the reason I mentioned the ketamine prescription on the X platform was because I thought maybe this is something that could help other people. That's why I mentioned it.
yeah, can we talk about the great replacement theory now? Some of the things that you post, a great replacement theory. You claim that Democrats, President Biden's immigration plan to open up the border. You said that the president is getting, and Democrats are doing it to get more votes. But undocumented immigrants cannot vote in federal elections. So how is that possible?
Right. Well, you're conflating two things. One is great replacement theory. The other is, which I don't subscribe to that. I'm simply saying that there is an incentive here. If legal immigrants, which I think have a very strong bias to, at least everything I read, it's a very strong bias to vote Democrat. The more that come into the country, the more they're likely to vote in that direction. But it is, in my view, a simple incentive to increase voters, to Democrat voters.
How'd that work out, Elon? Since again, you do no research, but you're creating cars and rockets. How did that work out, sir, when them same folk that you just talked about come over here and then vote Republican, especially the Spanish ones? Conservatives do not read, conservatives do not research.
And yeah, so your question is like how? So there's a few ways that this works. One is that when the census is done, the census is based on all people in an area, whether they are citizens or not. So if there are a concentration of people who came here illegally in a particular state or in a particular state, that state will actually then get an increased number of House seats. So the House seat apportionment is proportionate to the number of people, not the number of citizens. So the illegals overwhelmingly go to places like California, New York, and if you just look at the math, if you look at the apportionment with and without illegal.
So we're just going to bypass Texas and the Southwest, right? We're just going to bypass that. We're going to bypass. God, this. So we're bypassing Texas and Florida, right? We're just going to bypass those states because there's no illegals in those states, right? Because wheels and go-go boots, they fly them out and put them on buses, right? Okay. Because they're doing that with everyone that crosses the border, right? Yeah. All right. I tell you, they're not smart. They just be talking. They just be talking.
I believe California would lose. I believe the blue state, there would be a net loss of blue states of approximately 20 seats in the House. This also applies to the Electoral College. So you say, like, well, this also applies to electing the president. because the electoral votes are also done by apportionment the same way that House seats are done.
But the reason, Elon, the electoral college is in place is to balance that, so that doesn't happen. So what you're saying about it is the exact opposite of the reason why the electoral college is there. The electoral college at this point in our history gives people who are in smaller states and red states much more of an influence over our elections than people who are in blue states, and the majority of the people in this country. That's what the electoral college does. It actually does the exact opposite of what you're saying. It protects people who are in smaller states and protects people who are in red states.
Well,
the red states, because they tend to be smaller and less populous.
I think that statement is what you said is true, but what I said is also true, which is that if as is the case, a disproportionate number of legal immigrants go to blue states, they amplify the effect of a blue state vote. And the math, as I understand it, you can research this obviously very easily on it. It's pretty straightforward to research this.
Okay, so let's play this game, Elon. What happens if New York goes red and Illinois goes red? What happens? He basically just gave the Republicans 46 electoral votes. 46 that they never counted on. You basically, those two states would almost wash California, and they're 54. But okay.
But my understanding is that there would be that the Democrats would lose approximately 20 seats in the House if illegals were not counted in census, and that's also 20 less electoral votes for president. So the illegals absolutely do affect the who controls the House and who controls the presidency. It does not affect the Senate.
In blue states you're talking about.
Yes.
I don't believe that your information on that is right. So listen, let's talk more about the Great Replacement, because the first time you posted on X about this Jewish conspiracy, you ended up
I
apologizing.
didn't call it a conspiracy. I just said that there's a simple matter of incentives. You don't need a conspiracy when you have basic incentives. In my view, there's a basic incentive, there's fundamental, that for the Democrat Party to foster and usher in a large number of illegals. And you don't need a conspiracy in that case, because you have a very basic incentive. You could say I'm wrong about that incentive. But that's my view. I'm not buying some great replacement theory. I'm simply saying there appears to be a very clear incentive for Democrats to have maximized number of illegals because it helps them win elections.
I'm talking about the Great Replacement theory is also part of a Jewish conspiracy theory. And when you did the tweet, or you responded to the tweet about that, you ended up apologizing, and which I think is, it's good that you ended up apologizing. You went to Auschwitz with Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Right? So you said you learned your lesson. What did you learn?
I said I learned my lesson.
You said you learned your lesson when you apologized, and you said you went to Auschwitz. You saw what.
No, I was already aware of these things. And the nature of my comment that really inflamed people, what I was trying to say, and I did very quickly clarify, this is what I'm saying, is that a number of prominent Jewish philanthropists fund groups that they should really take a closer look at funding, because some of the groups they fund, I think, are anti-Semitic.
Do you understand the connection between the two? There's a connection between, you said Democrats, the Great Replacement theory, but when it comes to the actual Great Replacement theory, originally it was started about Jewish people, as you said, flooding in the country, and then now people are using it for Democrats, saying the same thing about Democrats. Flooding.
In my view, it's a simple matter of incentives.
Yeah.
I actually don't see an incentive for Jewish people to want to have illegal immigration. I don't think there is such an incentive.
Yeah. The Great Replacement theory is a neo-Nazi trope. It's in the neo-Nazi manifesto. It's in the Turner Diaries. It's referenced by the Buffalo mass shooter in his manifesto, where 10 people, black people, were murdered in Buffalo. There's the actual title of the Christchurch shooters manifesto. 51 people in the Muslim mosque were murdered. 23 people murdered in El Paso by a shooter who used the same language that you use in that manifesto when you say Hispanic invasion. Is that not?
I didn't say Hispanic invasion.
You quoted a tweet that called it a Hispanic invasion.
If I quote something, it doesn't mean I agree with everything in it.
He got him again. He got him again. Damn. Go ahead, Troll Lemon. I fuck with you. Only the troll version. I don't fuck with you wholly. But family, now he's going to try to distance himself from quoted tweets, even though we see him putting up quoted tweets every other day, agreeing with white supremacists. Elon, don't back off this now, sir. Because matter of fact, today you quote tweeted somebody that was a white supremacist. You're going to tell me you didn't agree with him? Huh? Huh? Come on, Elon. Don't do this, sir. We keep receipts here. Oh, you don't believe me? Cool. I figured you didn't. Look, you reposted the libs of TikTok. Biden's border bloodbath. Let me guess. We're going to have to ask if you agree with this, right? Okay. Look, you quote tweeted yourself, and the Biden administration does nothing. And wokeness. You quote tweeted this. The LAPD forms a special task force to combat organized foreign gangs burglarizing homes. Hey, bitch made wokeness. I thought those were black people doing that. You know, the 13% of the population that commits 52%. Most of them are white Latinos. Ain't that something? Elon, you quote tweeted that. Family, must we ask, did you agree with this, or you just did it for engagement so you could give yourself more money? I'm asking. Okay. Quote tweet again. Now, did you agree with Don Lemon? This person saying that Don Lemon got owned by you. Did you agree with this or not? Let's see. Sounds very biased. A study found that Google cost Republican candidates over $2 billion in donations since 2019 by flagging 77% of their fundraising emails as spam. And they marked less than 11%. Sounds very biased. Just because I quote tweet something doesn't mean I always agree with it. So why would you do it? Why don't you just put a comment underneath and explain yourself? Do you agree with this? Shout out to Nicole's View, the New York Compost. Google interfered in U.S. elections to help Democrats 41 times since 2008. Report came out today. Ironically, almost 6 hours ago. This article understates the magnitude of the problem. Google interferes to help Democrats thousands of times every election season. What the fuck? Sir, it said 41 times since 2008. How did you jump to thousands? But okay. This is to be expected when their censorship, aka trust and safety teams, are having far left political views. Sounds like you agree with this, sir. And it goes on and on. Look, describe NBC News in 2 words or less. Metaphor murderers. Uh-huh. You reposted somebody saying you talked about TITS and ASS on X Space. You reposted it. I think we get the point. Look, FBI and White House likely coerce social media platforms into removing post appeals court rules. Many Americans still have no idea this happened. Are you dumb? They watched it in real time in 2020, sir, when they suppressed the laptop. You've got to be kidding. How do we know this is true? Well, when they interviewed people on the street, they said if they would have known about the laptop, they wouldn't have voted for Biden. So they were patently aware of it. They either said that or said if I was able to see what was in there, I probably wouldn't have voted for him. They saw people talking about the laptop and then the post disappeared. I saw many a post from Facebook and Instagram saying, I can't put up the laptop stuff. They took down my post. People knew this. But of course, It's again, I'm white and I say so. But continue, sir. You have more.
It's just something that I think this is something what people should consider.
Why would you quote something that you didn't believe?
Because anything I quote is going to have a whole range of statements. Doesn't mean I agree with everything in it.
Do you think if you moderated yourself more, if there was better content moderation on the platform, that you wouldn't have to answer these questions from reporters about the great replacement theory as it relates
I
to
don't have to answer these questions.
great replacement theory as it relates to Jewish people? Do you think that
I don't have to answer questions from reporters. Don, the only reason I'm doing this interview is because you're on the X platform and you asked for it. Otherwise, I would not do this interview.
So you don't think do you think that you wouldn't get in trouble, or you wouldn't be criticized for these things?
I'm criticized constantly. I could care less.
You don't care?
No, I don't.
Why
care.
not?
I don't think people should care what the media thinks about them. They're terrible judges of character.
Even someone who has one of the biggest social media and biggest information platforms in the world, you don't care? You don't think that you have any X.com or you have any responsibility to the truth or moderating the platform?
You're conflating the truth with the media, and I think the media is not truthful.
Well, not just the media. I mean, just the truth in general.
I care about the truth very much. That's why we have, for example, community notes on the X system, where in order for a community note to surface and provide corrective information about what somebody posts, and my posts are equally subject to this. I've been community noted many times. In order for a community note to surface, people who have historically disagreed must agree in order for a community note to surface. And all of the code for community notes is open source. All of the data is open source, so you can completely recreate it from scratch. The way to build trust is transparency.
I have noticed community notes. I think that you are right about that, and I do think community notes are helpful. I think any type of content moderation, I do think that's helpful. You recently called content moderation, though, a digital chastity belt. Do you think that you believe that X and you have some responsibility to moderate hate speech on the platform?
I think we have a responsibility to adhere to the law, and we have a responsibility to be transparent about when things are shown, why they're shown. That's why we open source our algorithm. I think once you start going beyond the law, now you're putting it down on the scale. And we don't want to put out that on the scale.
It doesn't concern you that hate speech has gone. Research shows that it's gone up on the platform since you took over. That's not concerning to you?
I believe that is false. In fact, the research that I've seen says it went down.
The study from the Institute of Strategic Dialogue found that anti-Semitic tweets doubled from June 22 to February 2023. One study reported that as many as 86% of the posts reported for hateful content remained up after being reported. Hate speech on the platform is up.
So what they will typically do is they'll count the number of posts, but not count the number of views. So what matters is, was that post given high visibility, or did like one person see it? And if you look at the number of views of how many times was hate content viewed on our platform, it is down substantially.
Yeah. Well, that's not what the study shows. And you said you like transparency. I'm going to show you this. And
Don, you can get a study that will tell you whatever you want.
But these are just a handful of extremely. You look at those anti-Semitic and racist tropes and tweets, and as of this morning, they're still on X. And from your own content policy, these posts should have been deleted. So why haven't they been deleted? Why are they still there?
We delete things if they are illegal.
These have been up there for a while.
Are they illegal?
They're not illegal, but they're hateful, and they can lead to violence. As I just read to you, the shooters, in all of these mass shootings, attributed social media to radicalizing.
So Don, you love censorship, is what you're saying?
No, I don't love censorship.
Then why are you asking?
I believe in moderation, but I don't believe in
censorship. Moderation is a propaganda word for censorship.
But don't you think free speech?
You hear him? You hear him?
To radicalizing.
So Don, you love censorship, is what you're saying?
No, I don't love censorship.
Then why are you asking?
I believe in moderation, but I don't believe in
censorship. Moderation is a propaganda word for censorship.
Moderation is a propaganda word for censorship. Are you fucking serious? Is he fucking serious? He's not serious. Sir, the point of moderation is to allow everybody to say what they said, but as long as they don't get violent with it, you should let free-flowing ideas go on your platform. You sitting there regulating what people are saying and hiding posts, or people defending themselves, and you're having your team knock it down or put it behind a visibility wall, is not doing the same thing. When you got people blatantly lying on your platform, there's no community notes, but then you allow that same community note team to put up something to lie to take away a creator's money. But you want to, boy, all right.
But don't you think free speech is one thing, right? Or not,
Look, if something's illegal, we're going to take it down. If it's not illegal, then we're putting out
lying, sir, on recorded police documents is a lie. That's dangerous, sir. The only reason you're allowing it is because they didn't knock down 230. If they knock down 230, every post that he just showed you would be off your platform within 5 seconds because you wouldn't want to get sued. Which is why this TikTok ban, again, it's really a free speech issue. It's not so much trying to corner the market and desaturate the market. It's a free speech issue. Because if TikTok falls, that's going to open the government to be able to go after free speech and sue publishers and the individual for posting stuff up. I need y'all to watch that.
If I'm on the scale, we're being censors.
You're putting your thumb on the scale for moderating hate speech. I mean, you don't put out child pornography. That's not, it's illegal.
You a lying motherfucker. Because you have it running over there in them dark sides of your Twitter platform, but you know it's there. Your moderation team knows it there. They're not doing anything about it.
Some people would say that's considered censorship. I'm just saying, you.
No, I literally, Don, you know, I literally said, if something is legal, okay, we will obviously remove it.
Okay.
But if it's not legal, the laws in this country are put forward by the citizens. We're a democracy. So if those laws are put in place by the people, we adhere to those laws.
Okay, I agree.
Of others. If you go beyond the law, you're actually going beyond the will of the people.
Okay, agreed with the law. But if you are doing something that promotes hate and violence and ultimately leads to killing, you don't feel you have any responsibility not to do that? When the people who are doing it admittedly are saying
there's articles all the time that lead to violence and killing. Shouldn't they? Like you're applying a differential standard to.
But that would never be in mainstream media. These types of images, that type of language, those things would never be. We've never.
Now, Don, you're lying because you guys have done that before. When you were talking stories about the hate on the right, you have showed that stuff on your channels. Don't tell that lie. You've done it. Joy Reid's done it. Tiffany Cross-Eyes have done it. People on Fox News have done it. So don't tell that lie. When you want to demonize the other side, y'all are quick to put up people's posts.
When I was in mainstream media, we'd never promote things that would be anti-Semitic. We would never.
You will lie. This motherfucker is lying. This motherfucker is lying. But y'all can go research CNN's history with talking about anti-Semitism. You can go look that up.
Promote things that would
either.
Did you not see those?
You said promote. If content is on the platform, that doesn't mean we promote it.
Nigga, you heard what he said. Sir, we seen you quote tweet and wokeness, BIPOC doing racism, Diane Yap's bullshit. That I'm gonna try to be nice here. That sad response you gave about 10 minutes ago talking about just because I quote tweet something doesn't mean I agree with it. So why would you know these people's history? You quote tweeted. I've seen you quote tweet those same pages when they're talking ill about black people. I've seen you quote tweet it. You're promoting it, sir. You have 177 million people following you. Your posts on average probably get about 3 million views per. Knock it off.
But that wouldn't be on a platform for mainstream media at all.
No, but you can think of that. That's because mainstream media has like whatever 20 articles a day. We have 500 million posts today.
Okay,
500 million.
Does it bother you?
And you quote tweet probably less than 1% of them. Fuck you mean? I guarantee you, if there was a mass shooting involving black people, you're going to quote tweet it from one of those bitch ass anti-black pages.
How do you feel about that when you see it?
I obviously disagree with that. I think it's not good at all. It's terrible.
But you don't want to get rid of it on the platform, or at least moderate it.
The rules, what you're suggesting is censorship that goes beyond the law. And what I'm saying is I guess have a disagreement, because I do not believe in censorship that goes beyond the law, and you do. We have a difference of opinion in that regard.
I understand that, but these are your own rules on your own platform. These go against the rules on your platform. That's why I'm asking you. If you said, listen, we allow everything, but that's not what your content rules say, and that's why I'm asking you, why are they still there? Your own content policy. That's why I'm asking you that, not because.
Which part of our content policy says that we should delete these things?
Your content policy talks about hate speech.
Yes, we don't promote hate speech.
And so you don't consider that hate speech?
I guess you're not understanding what I'm saying. There's if there's you can find, like, you can sign up right now and do 100 things that are hateful, but if nobody reads it, it doesn't matter.
What do you mean? You see, oh my God. We literally just explained it to you. Those images go viral, sir. When they put up articles and put up their lame ass captions, that goes viral. People see it. That's how Black Twitter gets a hold of it. When Elijah Schaefer wrote his dumbass tweet last weekend, how do you think it went viral? It's like he has a platform he doesn't understand. You have anti-black racists that pay for a blue check just to talk shit about black people. That's cool. You can quote tweet it. But black people that actually go on there with blue checks and do positive stuff, you will not put their shit in the algorithm. They get it on accident. You got the nerve to talk about, oh, if there was something that should be censored, we're going to take it down. Yeah, okay, dude. You mean after people report it, it takes you about 4 days to go look at it and then tell us there was nothing wrong with it? Okay. All right.
So you can think of X as being, it's much like the internet. It's not some tiny publication with like 20 articles a day. It's 500 million.
But everyone has the opportunity to read it, Elon.
So I think everyone has the opportunity to read the internet. Are you suggesting we should shut down the internet?
No, but you don't own the internet. I'm asking you about you and your responsibility on your platform. And so I see how you feel now. You don't agree. We don't agree on this.
Yes, you want censorship and I don't.
No, I don't want censorship.
Yes, you do.
No, I want responsibility.
You desperately want censorship.
No, if I want censorship.
You want censorship so bad you can taste it.
No, that's not true. It's not true. I think that there's right and wrong. And I think that when you have a platform that's as big as yours and as powerful as yours and as influential as yours, and you are a person of consequence to the world with what you do, that there is a certain responsibility that goes along with what you have on your platform and what you put out to the world. And I think that's important. You don't see that responsibility?
I think we have a responsibility to adhere to the law. And if people want the law changed, they should talk to their elected representative and get the law changed, and then we will adhere to the law.
Okay.
Right. You have a responsibility for your platform, yet you put back in place the dead naming of transgender people. If you misgender them multiple times, you will be banned. So that's cool. You're for that, what you call censorship. But us telling you need to regulate your anti-black pages, that's free speech. Got it.
If you want us to go beyond the law, that is us deciding to be censors. And I'm against censorship. I'm in favor of freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And freedom of speech only is relevant when people you don't like say things you don't like. Otherwise, it has no meaning.
But I do think that there should be guardrails, and I believe in free speech as much as you. I would fight. I don't disagree. I don't agree with a lot of what you put out on social media, but I will fight for your right to be able to say it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, let's talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion. All right. That's been a target of yours lately on X. There was a repost of Ben Shapiro that you claim that DEI is killing people. Specifically, you point to medicine. You claim that DEI programs are putting people at risk. Do you really believe this to be true? And what evidence do you have to support it?
What I was referring to there was that if we lower the standards for doctors, so that they, if the test for a doctor is lowered, then the probability of them making a mistake and killing someone is obviously going to be higher.
What standard? How the fuck? How do you lower a standard for a doctor? Are you insane? We know what you really wanted to say. The rising number of black doctors is messing with the narrative. I've seen articles online of black people saying they'd rather have a black doctor because they feel more comfortable and they won't kill them at the same numbers that they do with non-black doctors. That's what this really is about. This is all DEI is about. We feel threatened that the people we have kept down for years are on a bigger plane than we are. No pun intended. As much as we say their IQ is lower, they actually score a lot higher than us. But we're going to manipulate the numbers. And now they're coming for the fields that we have been lollygagging through for the last few decades. And it's going to force us to step our game up. And we don't like it. That's what this really means when they talk about DEI.
Say that again. I'm not sure I understand what you said. I want to make sure I understand what you're saying.
Yes, if the standards for passing medical exams and becoming a doctor, or especially something like a surgeon, if the standards are lowered, then the probability that the surgeon will make a mistake is higher. They're making.
Hey, dumbass Elon, you can get the invite too. You can get the invite too, because see, unlike Don, I come with receipts, sir.
You bring him here, right here. Do you hear me? Right here.
What?
You heard what I said. Just do it.
Correct, sir. You can come here and get this work. I did a whole live stream showing article after article after article of black doctors, prospective black doctors as well, trying to get into the medical field with the same standards that they set for everybody. They exceeded it and they got pushed out of their programs because they put unrealistic goals and achievement bars, I should say, on the black doctors that they didn't put on the white ones. So it sounds like the white ones and the non-blacks were getting the preferential treatment. Ain't that something? I'll send you the link too, since you want to lie. But all right. It's another example of I'm white and I say so.
Mistakes in their exam. They may make mistakes with people, and that may result in people dying.
What evidence do you have, though, that they're lowering the standards? There's no evidence of that.
I believe there is.
Where?
There's no evidence of that.
Where?
What is the evidence?
I believe they've literally lowered the standards at Duke University, and that is what the article is referring to.
There's no
They
evidence.
have not lowered the standards.
There's no evidence about lowering standards. I think that there is.
I believe that is a false statement you're making.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I think
the interesting thing is when this is posted on the X platform, there will be a whole bunch of things that rebut what you said and what I said,
Correct.
and so people can then make their own decision based on the replies, the rebuttals, and the community notes.
I think that's fair, but I do think that on this particular topic, I do think that you and Ben Shapiro are reaching in about this, because there was what Ben posted said that he gave instances of people who were deliberately harming people. Nowhere in the thread does Ben suggest at all, I should say, that anyone is being killed as a result of DEI. That's purely speculative. There's research on DEI in medicine, and there's no evidence that standards are being lowered, that DEI is affecting medicine. Actually, only 5% of doctors are black, and a small percent.
Yeah, I think you'll find that when this is posted to the X platform, that people will reply to it with evidence. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Let's see.
Okay. But that's my whole thing about moderation. Maybe you're wrong, but you'll put it out there. You don't know if it's right. Do you think that your responsibility to make sure something is right before you, the person who owns it, Elon Musk, is a huge figure in the world, that you should know that it's true, that there are people at X who can get.
Got him again. He just called out community notes. For those who didn't see that program, there's the link. You can go watch this at your leisure. We did a whole live stream on that. Those stories were sad. People busting their ass for years trying to get to that point where they could say that they're a doctor, putting in that work and having to deal with the bullshit during their residencies. The depression they went through. Some ultimately left the profession. But you going to talk about lowered standards because you saw some jack off say something on X. And you didn't even say, as smart as you claim you are, let me do about an hour's worth of research before I tweet this. Or in your case, quote tweet it.
Research for you before you put something out there like that. That's not necessarily true. Even in other examples.
If I say something that is inaccurate, I'm immediately corrected on the platform. That's the advantage of real-time.
Right.
So there'll be notifies people correcting me. There'll be a community note that will correct me, which is attached to the actual post itself.
Do you think as many people read the?
Yes.
You think as many people read that as it reads your tweet?
Yes. In fact, and if there's a community note that happens later that where somebody didn't see, but they replied to that, or interacted with that post, we will notify them that there is now a community note correcting that post.
Mm-hmm. Just so you.
Whereas if you consider the conventional media, that doesn't happen. Conventional media makes false statements all the time and nobody ever hears the correction.
That's actually a lie, sir, because especially in the printed media, they actually do have at the bottom, they actually do a retraction if they get caught. Now, I'm not saying it happens all the time, but don't act like they've never done it. And besides, like you said, people online will easily correct them. But it doesn't matter anyway because you paid them already because they have the check.
When I was in conventional media, I can only speak for myself. If I got something wrong, if someone got something wrong on the platform that I was on, it was corrected, and we made sure that it was corrected. Now, I can't speak for anyone else.
I don't think that's a universal situation.
Okay, so I just want the research. So when you talk, do you believe that people are dying because medical standards, DEI is causing medical standards to be lowered? Do you actually believe people are dying because of that?
I believe that if we lower the standards for what it takes to become a doctor.
You're saying if we lower the standards, yes. But do you believe people are dying because the standards are being lowered?
I don't think that is an issue, but it could become an issue.
Oh, Troll Lemon strikes again. So before you were very firm in saying that there are lowered standards for doctors. Now you're saying it could be a problem, but you still haven't told us where these standards are lowered.
Okay, but the actual evidence in history shows the exact opposite. If you look at how minorities are treated by the medical system, most doctors now are white, and there are lots of mistakes in medicine. So you're saying that white doctors have bad medical care? I'm trying to understand your logic here when it comes to DEI because there's no actual evidence of what you're saying.
No, I said, so if the standards, like let's say, I think that particular thing was referring to surgeons. Let's say a surgeon is asked to, a surgeon in training is asked to do a series of operations under the supervision of a senior surgeon, and they get a bunch of those operations wrong.
Okay. Oh my God. He doesn't even know how this works. He doesn't even know how this works. Why is he talking about things that he doesn't even know how this works? What surgeon in training? Oh God. Somebody send him to Hulu and have him watch ER. Sir, no respectable hospital is going to have their surgical residents performing those type of surgeries you talking about, even under supervision. Are you insane? Their liabilities. That's why they assist. They assist. If anything, the surgeon, if they feel they're confident enough, they'll say, okay, you can do this part. You're making it seem like they're telling these surgical residents, hey, go do this open heart surgery. We just gonna sit back and watch. That's not how this works, sir. Second of all, they don't have the medical knowledge, and I shouldn't say talent, but they don't have the instincts or the controlled hand to do something like that yet. That takes years of practice. Just like you wouldn't have an emergency room resident running an ER, doing multiple cases by themselves, no supervision. They get in trouble if that happens, if they take on cases that are not approved, or they don't have an attending looking it over. He just be talking and do no research, and then he got this dumb look on his face like he's supposed to be right.
If that happens, and yet they are still approved to be a surgeon, the probability that someone will die, I think, at some point is high.
Okay, I understand that, but that's a hypothetical. That doesning mean it's happening.
I didn't say it's happening.
You literally
You
did.
didn't say it was happening.
I said it will. I said if we lower standards, people will die.
You started saying that you lowered
Why
standards
respond to something
already.
or put something out there that has not happened? Because I could say,
Because I don't want it to happen. I think we don't want to lower standards.
But
okay,
you,
if you look at the history of the medical industry,
sir, he's literally telling you this is what's going on your platform every day, and you're being aloof to the situation. He literally gave you an example of how y'all are sitting there talking about DEI, don't know, have a clue what you're talking about, and you're putting out false information to millions of people, and then they are so dumb they're not going to go do their own research, or they're going to see a cursory article from somewhere that's usually wherever they want to put their political and ideological stances on. They go out there and think that's the truth and do no research. Like they ran around and said, oh, DEI, all the competent white pilots are going to get replaced. Yet we have seen every single company say they want to bring in 50% white and minority pilots. White men are still going to be the majority, because you're going to have at least 7 different demographics fighting for 50% of seats and opportunities. So on average, that's less than 7%. And they are so dumb, they run with that. And then when the truth comes out, they look dumb and they move on to the next thing. They did it with CRT. They did it with affirmative action. Now they're doing it with DEI. And no, John Shaw, it's not 92%, it's 81.
especially when it comes to Black Americans, it shows the exact opposite. If you look at the Tuskegee experiment and all that, only 5% of doctors are in America are Black. All of them are white. So are you saying that if the majority of doctors are white, are you saying that and there's still these inequities, right? And there's still mistakes. Are you blaming DEI for that?
No, I'm very basically saying that if we lower standards for what it takes to become
Stop saying if.
Or
you were affirmative earlier. Why are you saying if now? What standards are they lowering, sir? What standards? You have to go to a medical school. They all have to do the same training. They just have their little, depending on the school, their little kink to it. Trust and believe. Northwestern in Chicago is doing the same thing that North Carolina is doing. The same thing that the University of Florida Medical School is doing is the same thing that goddamn University of Texas is doing. They're all learning the same thing. NYU is learning what UCLA is doing. It's the same body, the same thing. It just changes depending on the person, but it's still the same groundwork. So where are they lowering the standard? Because if that's the case, then you're going to send out incompetent doctors. They still can't go. They're still going to have to get retrained when they get to the hospitals. Whenever they get into their work setting, they're going to have to be retrained. Trust and believe. People that are seasoned are going to see them and say, that's wrong. That's why they have grant programs. You want to have money to keep your residency, you've got to do papers. You got to do research. You're basically always learning as a doctor. Likewise, like a pilot, they come out with different planes every year, different models. You got to relearn it. That's the real problem with the black pilots and this DEI that they don't want to admit, family. These planes that they're coming out with, these white old school pilots cannot grasp the concepts. So the new school coming in, they're being learned on it and they're accelerating faster than them and they don't like it. That's the truth. Ruth. So whenever they tell you about DEI, you tell them, well, tell your pilots to pick themselves up by their bootstraps and pilot wings and learn these new planes. And tell the people on the ground that are making these planes to make competent airliners so they don't fall apart when they land or they're in the air. But we're going to continue.
You know, an oncologist or something where the kind of disease we're talking about, if you make a mistake, causes someone to die, then more people will die than if we don't lower the standards. Therefore, we should not lower the standards.
But why do you think they're lowering the standards for minority doctors or women doctors? Or
that's what that's what that article suggested. Yeah,
the article. The article. Now he's going to blame the article. So you, again, didn't do any research. You're blaming the article that you read. That didn't spur you to go do research because you didn't cite any numbers, not one time. Got him.
Okay. The evidence that I have shows that that's not true.
Okay.
So listen, after the door blew off this mid-flight Miss Alaskan Airlines flight, do you remember that? You responded claiming that the average HBCU grad was less intelligent than the average airline pilot, and stated that it will take an airplane crashing and killing hundreds of people for them to change this crazy policy of DIE. I don't know if did you misspell it on purpose, which should be DEI. Do you believe that women and minority pilots are inherently less intelligent and less skilled than white?
But he's not a racist. Why would he bring up HBCUs? Did HBCUs have anything to do with that Alaska Airlines door coming off? But he's not anti-black, right? Okay.
White male pilots.
No, I'm just saying that we should not lower the standards for them.
Who is lowering the standards?
There's no.
Who is lowering the standards for black pilots? Sir, the union literally negotiated raising the flight time before you can even run a plane. What are you talking about? 2 white pilots literally crashed the plane. That spurred the pilots unions to say they need more training time. So what standards did they lower, sir?
Evidence that standards are being lowered when it comes to the airline industry.
We've repeatedly said that there's no evidence that standards are being lowered, and watch the replies showing all the evidence that it is.
Replies, though, on social media or on Twitter are not necessarily fact and evidence.
No,
that's people's opinion.
They will cite
okay.
In the replies to this, you'll see how often the information is cited showing that indeed there are significant cases where standards are lowered.
And I do hope that happens. I do hope that happens, and I look forward to it. As you said, if you're wrong, then you're wrong, and if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
Yes.
Okay. So and I'm glad we're having this conversation, debate. This is what we should be doing, debating the issue. So if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, and then I'll be proven in the thing, and you as well. But I just want to tell you that pilot that you talked about, in fact, was a woman pilot, landed the plane safely despite the major malfunction with the equipment. Boeing has taken responsibility for that incident, saying that it was caused by a faulty door panel. So I'm not sure what that had to do with lowering the standards for pilots when it was a faulty.
No, it's not lowering standards for pilots. It's the incentive structure. I believe at Boeing changed to include DEI as a fundamental executive incentive. So
Who worked on the plane, sir? They outed him. It was a white man. Oops. Maybe you need to read more mainstream articles, sir. Stop reading Twitter posts. You learn something. The crew that put the door together and was responsible for that was headed up by a white man. So he's incompetent. His team is incompetent. We love to blame the person in charge. Just like every time a Tesla crashes on autopilot, we blame you, sir. We don't blame the tech who made the technology. We blame you. Boeing took responsibility because it's their plane. So when that story came out, we didn't blame the pilot. We blamed the airline and we blamed who created the plane. And then when we found out the real story, we took Alaska Airlines off the hook. Somewhat. Because their crew should have still checked it. But that was what they like to call, that was a manufacturer's blunder. Yeah.
but in my view, it should be purely about passenger safety.
Okay, but do you understand how by saying just that standards are being lowered, and that you're implying that they're being lowered because people are less skilled and less intelligent, and you're talking about people of color and or women?
Like I'm saying we should not lower standards.
But you don't.
That's it.
I think
They're not
everyone's
lowering
agreed
the
you can't- you shouldn't lower
standards.
Right.
But
That's
you're
cool.
implying that they're lowering standards because of people of color or women, because someone is not a white male. You're saying that they're less skilled and less intelligent. That's what
No,
you're
I'm not
saying.
saying that. I'm simply saying that they
You
are.
literally
be lowering
said
the
that.
standards?
I don't know. Why are they lowering the standards?
Just so you know, 5% of pilots are female, 4%
Oh
are
my
black.
God.
So
you
you're-
still
you know, you're
saying
talking
they're
about this
lowering
widespread
it, but you said if.
Over minorities and women when that's not actually true.
I'm not saying there's a
Standards
widespread takeover.
Well, you're saying that the standards are being lowered because of certain people. And you don't believe in DEI, right? Do you not believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion?
I think we should be treat people according to their
Merit.
skills,
Here we go.
and their integrity, and that's it.
Do you know that studies show?
Studies show.
Yeah, well, we can look them up. So your reaction to studies show and understand, right? Because I always like to point to an exact.
Interesting. I'm glad you said that, Elon. Glad you said that.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Huh? No. You are being lied to.
And a lot of white folk have demonstrated eloquently that they don't have no sense.
Hey!
That's because you're a dummy. Okay? Dumb little, stupid little dum-dum.
No. Bro, ain't no motherfucking way, bro. Ain't no motherfucking way.
What the hell?
I prayed for this and it happened.
Yo, fuck nuts.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
You want to explain this to us, Elon? Since you're so against this, why did your company do this? Huh? Let's see your impact report. Let's see it. Well, Jesus Christ. Minorities. I'm sorry, family. I know y'all gonna get mad at me for saying that word. I don't see no white people here. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Look. Okay, that might be a white woman, but she would be part of DEI. You even got somebody with a hijab on. Well, damn. Look, you got a Hispanic on the line. You got black people. You got a black man at the front desk. You got a minority talking to folk. You've got a woman doing the inclusion, talent, and learning sector. She runs it. Look at this sexy black woman with the screwdriver. Look at her. Underrepresented community. Look at those numbers. Look at those numbers, family. They outbid the white folk. Ain't that something? So the worker bees outnumber the white folk. Not in the leadership position, but all right. Black and African American employees are 10% of our U.S. workforce. 60% increase in representation in management. They're 4% of our director level and above employees. Well, damn. Look. You got a vice president of people. Woman. Spanish woman. I don't know. Zach might be white. Well. Look at that. Aaron Hughes. Joe Chan. Justice Favela POTUS. Well. A lot of DEI working over there. Look at that. Black at Tesla. Asia Pacific Islanders. Latinos at Tesla. You've got LGBTQ. Women and veterans. Carolyn Garner. She's director of payroll. Well, ain't this some? Look at all this diversity, but you're low. I wonder if these employees had their standards lowered. Ain't that something?
Study, right? Sure. Something that is factual. It's the same thing when you talk about, well, let's see what the replies are on Twitter or on X.
Yeah, so
I feel the same. I feel the same way about that. But this is what studies have shown, and people will reply and they'll say that companies with more diversity in their leadership teams have reported higher innovation rates than those with lower diversity or low diversity, and they're better companies and they make more money. This whole idea about DEI, if you go woke or whatever, you go broke, that's not necessarily true. People with diverse leadership teams and diverse workers make more money and more innovative.
Like I said, my view is that the only basis for promoting somebody should be their skills, talents, and their integrity, and that's it.
I want to ask you about, there's a federal government EEOC. They are also currently involved in a lawsuit against Tesla that alleges that there's a history of widespread racial harassment against Black Tesla employees, as well as a pattern of retaliation for speaking out. What do you say to that?
I don't believe that is true. I think we've got a very good, like if you walk around the Tesla Fremont plant, I think it's a very good atmosphere. In fact, I practically lived there for 3 years trying to make the production work.
Were you aware, if you lived there, were you aware of such behavior?
I never saw it.
So you're saying that this is not true, it's not happening?
Well, I mean, there's over 20,000 people. So you say, like, if there's over 20,000 people in one building, well, is everyone going to behave publicly? No. Did I see any situations that I thought were improper? I did not.
Let's talk about trans rights and the woke mind virus, because you talk about that a lot. You're right about
woke
that a lot.
mind virus. Here
You've
we
been
go.
deeply outspoken about the issue of trans rights. You posted trans rights. You posted that pronouns and bio mean the woke mind virus ate your brain. Do you know what the term woke actually means?
Are we gonna get another Bethany Mandel moment right now, family? Are we about to get? Are we about to get another gem? I'm waiting for this. That's me rubbing my hands together. I'm ready for this. I want to hear this.
This is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's come to mean a lot of things.
But what originally it was meant to mean is just being aware of inequities in society and being aware of facts and history.
Yeah, I think it's.
I gotta go on camera for this.
I think being aware of inequities in society is fine, of course. But trying to blame everything on trying to make everything a race issue is, I think, divisive and corrosive to society.
Even as it relates to trans issues.
He didn't answer the question. He didn't answer the question. Oh my God. We got to play this again. He didn't answer the question.
To mean, it's just being aware of. Posted that pronouns and bio mean the woke mind virus ate your brain. Do you know what the term woke actually means?
It's come to mean a lot of things.
But what originally it was meant to mean is just being aware of inequities in society and being aware of facts and history.
Yeah, I think it's come to be. I think being aware of inequities in society is fine, of course. But trying to blame everything on trying to make everything a race issue is, I think, divisive and corrosive to society.
Even as it relates.
He was asked the question, didn't answer it. Don Lemon even told him what the answer was, and he still said, "You're making it a race issue." There was nothing. Let me explain something to you, Elon. It's not black people that are making things always a race issue. Again, you want a more modern example? I'll give you one. What happened last weekend with Elijah Schaffer and Halle Bailey? Not one person who defended her made it about her race. You saw the post for what it was. That was another anti-hate, black hate post. But we didn't make it about her race. We just said that, boy, you have some cooked ass eyes for thinking that woman is not beautiful. Who made it about race? That's right, the Kardashians. Yes, the people you identify with. They made that about race. Because they came in with their little bitch ass memes trying to make fun of black people. Elijah saw he was getting cooked. What was one of his responses, Tabernacle? If they only knew my ethnicity, they would understand. Who made it an issue far removed from what the post was about? It wasn't us. Y'all tried to make it a race issue when you said Black Twitter found it. And I looked through Black Twitter's post. Less than 10%, listen to me, less than 10% of those posts actually mentioned that she was black. Oops. But you think everything is a race issue. Everybody's trying to turn things into a race issue. Got it.
Relates to trans issues.
Oh, by the way, we have an update, family. The likes to dislikes are now even. Before they were not even.
Which is what I'm.
Yeah, race or gender or whatever.
You think that society blamed everything on racism now?
It blames a lot of things on it, and yeah.
You think that's unfair?
Yeah.
Why?
I think we should not make this a constant subject. I think we need to move on. Just, treat people like people.
You don't agree that there
was his MLK reference. He had to throw that in there. Had to bring up MLK. We should treat everybody the same. Okay. Well, when you lead by example, sir, we will give you one of those.
And a lot of white folk have demonstrated eloquently that they don't have no sense.
this country was founded on racism and founded on slavery and in many ways inequities that still continue on to this day?
I think every country at that time, and I think even today, was extremely racist. Every country.
Like South Africa?
And obviously, slavery was present in about half this country. And no, but was not present in the North. There was racism for sure. But, you know, I think
what did you just say?
About half this country. And no, but was not present in the North. There was racism for sure.
There wasn't slavery in the North. Boy, somebody go get this man a book. Who gonna get this man the book? Sir, Robert Moses on Long Island. That's New York. That's up north. He had a slave plantation. Oh, you didn't know that? He was for slavery. You didn't know that? Okay. Boston, they had slaves, sir. I know you didn't know that. The northern states had slaves, sir. It just wasn't as pronounced as it was in the South. This interview was last week, Lewis knows, and hello. This was last week, but he just put it up today. Karen Dorsey, hello. You seem new, but welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Yon Sellers, hello. Who mans is this?
But you know, I think we want to look to the future rather than the past. And instead of engaging in constant rehashing of the past, because in fact, if you study history broadly, everyone was a slave. Everyone.
There it is. He said it. He said it. Classic X statement, family. He said it.
The past. And instead of engaging in constant rehashing of the past, because in fact, if you look at history, if you study history broadly, everyone was a slave. Everyone.
Everyone was a slave. Everyone. He should get it on an audiobook and play it in his Cybertruck and get to the end before it crashes. Everybody was a slave. Don P, you meant that. Everybody was a slave. Okay. And groups got paid off except the cousins and my people. Yeah. And if y'all were such slaves, go find the people that enslaved you and go get your money. Which is what I tell the Clear Dashians all the time when they try to pull that bullshit. Then they don't want to talk no more. I shouldn't have to pay for something that somebody else did because I'm white. You didn't go through that. Everybody was a slave. Great. Go get your coins. I tell them that all the time. Go get your coins. Find out who enslaved your people. Go get your coins. I'll support you. Then they don't want to talk no more. He said it. Another X trope. Everybody was a slave.
Yes. Well, not everyone was a slave.
No, everyone was a slave.
Okay.
But we are all descended from slaves.
Yeah.
Well, all of us.
Yeah.
So it's just a question of when.
Who enslaved your German people in South Africa, sir? Who did that? Regale us with the tales of the daddy that you don't like telling you how you are descended from slaves, sir. Go ahead.
Was it more recent or less recent? That's it.
Right.
So but what future do we want? Is this something we want to make part about constant dialogue forever, or do we want to say, like, let's just move on and treat everyone you know, according to just who they are as an individual.
I agree with you with that. That's the ideal. But what the evidence shows is that that's not what's actually in practice.
I think we're doing better than anywhere else.
That's true. I agree with that. But that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean a lot to a whole lot of people who aren't able to take advantage of the opportunities that you were able to take advantage of simply because of the color of your skin.
By the way,
what advantage?
I'm glad you said that, CRU Realty. We're going to deviate a little bit from the show. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's interesting that you said that, because we have some breaking news on that front. I want y'all to hear what old boy said in regards to posts.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Y'all see that? Yes, that is Michael Rappaport. Yesterday, somebody put up a video that showed him on the phone with someone apparently negotiating a deal to put up more pro-Israel posts. Now, he's going to answer this because he was also in that comment thread and said, yeah, you caught me. Now, I haven't seen this, so he could be trolling in this or he could be half serious. We're going to determine this, but let's see what he said. Fair use.
You got me. I make money off of all these posts. Okay.
Well,
yes,
we knew that.
I make money. I don't want to say how much money I make off of these posts. Pro-Israel, pro-Zionist, pro-Jewish posts. Yes, I make money per post and I get paid extra. I shouldn't be saying this, but I get paid extra every comment that's pro-Hamas. So every time you guys make comments saying, you know, from the river to the sea, or if you post a Palestinian flag or a watermelon, I get paid a little bit more. So I don't know what anyone else is doing. I don't know about their deals, but that's my deal. And I just want to be honest about it. Okay. I just want to be honest about it going forward, that I do get paid off of every pro-Jewish, pro-Israel post. When I say free the hostages, I get paid a little bit. I can't go into the details of the deal that I have made with the higher ups. I can't even say who they are, but it is true. And when you comment with Palestinian flags, I get paid more money. When you comment saying propaganda, I get paid even more. That's.
I feel like he's trolling. I seriously feel like he's trolling. This is the video I was talking about.
If I say Israel, you got to pay.
Why is he barefooted in a hotel? Okay.
Pay me a certain price. If I say Zionist, you pay me a certain price. If I say Zionist, Israel, and Jewish, that's the big three, I get paid for that. Right. Same as always. Yeah, just keep paying me the same thing. Zionist, Israel, Jewish, you pay me. No problem. If I do what if I do a watermelon emoji and if I say something like fuck Palestine? If I say fuck Palestine on camera, okay, you're gonna give me more. Okay, cool.
I feel like he's trolling. But who cares? Everybody ran with it. But okay. This is not what we came here for, but a little more context. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, back to this.
Well, there's an ease that you have in society that many people of color don't. You were able to come to this country voluntarily. There are many people who were not able to come to the country voluntarily. There are people who came here as slaves, and there is a legacy of slavery that still continues on. There's a legacy of racism that still continues on in this country. That's undeniable.
Well, if we keep talking about it nonstop, it will never go away.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Hey, you know how you stop talking about it? Reparations. There you go. Cousins can't talk about it no more. They would have gotten paid. They would have gotten the legislation They would have got their anti-hate bill. They wouldn't be able to talk about it anymore, except to say this is the date where we got our reparations. But okay.
If we keep making that the central thing, it will never go away.
Well, why do you believe that?
I think I'm just making a simple statement of fact.
Here we go again.
So I think we want to get away from making everything a race or a gender or whatever issue. Just
pay them the reparations. They won't talk about it no more because they'll be doing what they plan to do, taking care of themselves.
People like individuals.
Do you have any desire to understand what many people of color and even trans people, how they feel about this country and how they're treated in this country? If they say and they believe that they are treated a certain way in this country, why don't you believe them?
You cannot have a situation where someone is a self-described victim and they just get to be that because that's how they feel.
I think that does happen in some cases, but not all cases. And I think that not understanding the history of the country, I think, is a real shame. Look, we should understand incredible opportunities
and other countries.
I've had incredible opportunities as a person of color.
He said other countries. Why the fuck should I worry about other countries? They got their own problems. As long as they ain't over here messing with us, why should we learn about what's going on with other countries unless it's going to lead us into a decision that we're going to have to make? I'm just asking.
Right, but I've also been discriminated against, and I know that I have, and I know that that's real. And for someone to say that that isn't happening, I should just move forward and not think about that and ignore the past is insulting.
I'm not saying it.
Well, see, I won't say he's off code for that. I'll say he LGBT, so I understand why he brought that up.
Don, you keep putting words in my mouth. I'm not saying it's.
I didn't say that you said it.
I'm saying that we want to. We as a country should move beyond the questions of race and gender.
Even down in a BRICS nation, someone from a BRICS nation, even he's talking French.
Who is we? Who is we?
And we should treat people like individuals and base our opinions on them on the, their character and their skills.
I don't think that anyone will disagree with that. Exactly. All I'm saying is that that's not happening and it's not equal for everyone. That those opportunities don't happen for everyone. And I am a living example that they don't. I know that they don't because I live it.
You've been incredibly successful.
I have been, and in spite of it all. But I know what I know. I've experienced what I've experienced. You haven't done that, and I cannot. I don't know what it's like to be from South Africa. I don't know what it's like to be a white man. I don't know what it's like to be a woman. I don't know what it's like to be a Latino person. I don't know that, so I wouldn't speak for them and just say you need to move on. That's not for me to say. I believe that it would be great if the country could live up to that ideal. You think that everyone has the same opportunities in America, regardless of their background and ethnicity. Do you agree?
No, I don't think everyone has the same opportunities.
Okay. So when you talk about, let's talk about trans rights. When you decided to talk about the trans rights movement, you said that it was a woke mind virus. Why do you believe the trans rights movement is a woke mind virus? What do you mean by woke mind virus?
Woke mind virus is when you stop caring about people's skills and their integrity, and you start focusing instead on gender and race and other things that are different from that. I think the woke mind virus is fundamentally racist, fundamentally sexist, and fundamentally evil.
That's not even what woke means. That's not even what woke means. I can't hear no more. By the way, yeah, Elon, you're $3.2 million less today because you settled that lawsuit with that black factory worker, the one that was asking for 137 million. Yeah, shout out to him. Create your generational wealth, sir. We finally hit the positive area, family. It's finally positive. They're putting down lemon over. Now, watch they get pissed off. The right is going to get pissed off over that. It's going to say there's a whole bunch of lefties went up in there and like bombed the video. Okay. Nah, he started at 137. I think what I read, he got yeah, they gave him, he won the 137. And then they dropped it to 15. And I guess they settled. I guess the jury said he's only entitled to 3.2. He should have just taken the fucking 15. But, you know. Well, I appreciate you saying that, William. Let's see if anybody else agrees with you. There's the link. If anybody wants to come up and say something about this here video, because I'm sure you all have a lot to say. One would hope. And I pinned it up top. Yeah, they usually get greedy. And it's California too. He could have used that money. But yeah, Elon was being hella disingenuous. Ooh, he talked about the advertisers. He talked about the advertisers.
Look at these bunch of nutmegger pigs. And forget about the looks. What about the money? Oh!
I know it's Vince, but this was a perfect clip. Let's hear what he says about the advertisers on X.
Let's talk more about free speech and for advertisers, right? Because all this controversy, I believe, as you know, has made X less appealing to advertisers. About half of them have left the platform. You call advertisers that left X.com. You said they were oppressors. You've even gone as far as saying it publicly that they can go F themselves or go fuck themselves.
Ooh, he cussing!
Before advertising, then obviously I find that unacceptable.
You find it unacceptable. Why is that not a form of free speech? They are free to advertise where they want. They're not beholden to, they're not obligated to advertise on X.com.
Right.
So how is that not free speech?
That's whereas the other platforms will censor on behalf of advertisers, the X platform will not.
Okay. So, but you think you don't think it's okay for them not to advertise with or have their content or their advertisement next to something that is anti-Semitic or?
That is a different question. You can absolutely choose where next to which content do you want your advertising to appear. Absolutely, of course. And we have, I think, very good ad placement controls in this regard.
Yeah. So you said if they kill the company, it's them. But doesn't the buck stop with you? I mean, you're on.
I have to say, choose your question carefully. There's 5 minutes left.
Okay, but so
is this the question you want to ask?
Putting him on a timer.
You said that they are killing the company, but you're the head of the company. The buck doesn't stop with you.
I acquired X in order to preserve freedom of speech in America, the First Amendment, and I'm going to stick to that. And if that means making less money, so be it.
So I have to be, listen, I'm just being honest, right? I'm not trying to get.
What have I been telling you the last couple of weeks, family? He finna sell this app after the election. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you.
You or anything. I was just surprised that you would blame other people for killing the company. I mean, when you say the buck stops with the president of the United States, regardless of what happens, right? So, why would that question upset you? Seem upset by it, are you?
I think you.
I'm not trying to upset you.
Well, you are upsetting me because the way you're phrasing the questions, I think, is not cogent.
It's not what?
Not cogent.
Cogent.
Yes.
Go ahead.
If given a choice where an advertiser is saying like you have to censor all this content on the platform, irrespective of where their advertising appears, then our answer will be like, look, you can choose where you want your advertising, what you want your advertising to appear next to. You can't insist on censorship of the entire platform. If you insist on censorship of the entire platform, even where your advertising doesn't appear, then obviously we will not want them as an advertiser.
So what would you say to advertisers who have left the platform or who are considering coming back or not coming back? What would you like to say to them?
Well, first of all, almost all of our advertisers are coming back to the platform. So it's a very short list of advertisers who are not coming back to the platform. And our advertising revenue is rising rapidly, and our subscription revenue is rising rapidly, and I feel very optimistic about the future of the X platform.
Okay. Listen, honestly, I'm not meaning to offend you. You're an intense person. Where does that intensity come from?
I was born that way, and I had a tough childhood.
You did?
So, yeah.
How so?
Oh, he had a tough childhood. Oh. Cry me a motherfucking river, sir. You're not the only person in the world who's had a tough childhood, sir. That doesn't give you carte blanche to go fuck with people in your adult life. It doesn't give you carte blanche to be an asshole.
And folk, them white people lost their mind.
Right, Walter Isaacson goes into it in the book, and we only have a couple minutes left, so
all right,
too long to describe. So the 1 or 2 questions I can do, and then we'll call it.
Okay. Again, I don't mean to upset you. Why are you just?
No.
By the way, he has been diagnosed as autistic.
I have a whole room full of people waiting to meet with me.
Okay,
so we're just going over time.
Okay, all right, I understand that. So when you talk about, you said you were born that way. Is that?
All right, I don't give a fuck. All right, we're done here. All right, let's see. Miss Nisi, hello.
Good evening, KG. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine. I'm gonna speak my piece, and you know I'm gonna cuss. So
hang on.
All right.
Hang on before you do that.
All right.
We finna give you this floor. Go ahead.
All right. This autistic fuckboy and his had a rough childhood bullshit. Breathe, Niecy. Breathe, girl. Breathe. This motherfucker just need to die. I said it, and I'll stand on it. I'm sick of this shit. Same old, same old. Same bullshit. Enough is enough, damn it. So that's my spiel. I'm out. Good night. Bye.
Good night. Miss Nisi went on our mic and said, that mic was hot, boy. Vic Stat, hello.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, this was Don Lemon in rare form, man. I didn't really expect nothing like this. We haven't seen him do like investigative journalism questions in, a certain amount of years. So I mean, this was kind of new, but it also goes to show to the rest of the family and those that didn't know, like, regardless of, what amount of money they got, they're still not smarter than you on a basic level. Like, what you see is wrong. And it's on us to, do our due diligence and call it out and everything. I mean, honestly, this was pretty informative on a basic level. I mean, I didn't expect for Elon Musk to admit that he was a damn dope fiend on camera. I mean, that was hilarious.
This is him trying to relate.
Crazy. Similar to the Orange Man. Yes, the blacks, they relate to me. I've been arrested. Like, what does being arrested have to do with blackness, man? Not a damn thing. But that it was a good piece. Do you think he does this again with somebody else, or you think it's
Well, he has a YouTube channel? What do you mean, Elon?
No, Sweet Tea Lemonade.
Well, he has his YouTube channels, and he said in the comments that he's got more interviews coming. So let's see.
You think it'll be as groundbreaking as Tucker?
Well, you gotta understand, Tucker is a white supremacist that gets promoted by white supremacists, so it is what it is. Don Lemon only has 13,000 subscribers on here.
Ugh. That's worse than Roland Martin, ain't it?
But you gotta understand, Roland paid for his subscribers.
Oh yeah. Damn.
So I mean, let's look at Don's stuff.
So let's get into. Are you under the influence?
He only has
You
9
said you learned your
videos.
lesson.
He's only got 9 videos on here.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he just started it.
Damn.
He got 11-second promo. They got 47,000 views. So
And he's got a bunch of shorts.
He got one short.
Man, he needs to put up his New Year's hits.
So let's get into. Are you under the influence of anything? You said you learned your lesson. What did you learn? So you don't consider that hate speech.
What's that you said?
I said he needs to put up his New Year's greatest hits of him being drunk with Anderson.
He don't own that footage.
Oh, damn.
That's CNN's footage. He ain't never gonna get that footage.
God damn, that's crazy. Well, hey man, it was a good broadcast nonetheless, man. Thank you.
No problem. I think he did some. Vic, what was that, sir? Why you inhaling before you get off? What were you doing over there? You taking some of that ketamine?
Yes.
It's fucking with you. But since you had that avatar,
No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise. No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise. No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise. No medicine, there'd be no.
yeah. All right, shout out to Don Lemon. All right, he actually did something. I ain't think he was gonna do something. I ain't even gonna hold you. I thought it was gonna be a softball interview. But, all right, he talked. He got Elon in his feelings. Mm. But you know, I don't know. Anybody else gonna talk? If not, then we gonna shut this down. 2 live streams in a day. I mean, my record's 3, but you know. I think we learned a lot. Yeah. All right. I guess nobody else is going to come in. So, yeah, let's just shut it down. All right. Hopefully, y'all learned something. If you did, I done my job. If not, I'll try to be better next time. Definitely Friday will be the members only stream. Y'all gonna like that subject matter. I ain't even gonna hold you. But I'm gonna warn you. I'm going to warn you. Please do not eat before that show. Or if you do eat, please have a bucket next to you. Please do that. And last but not least, Rob Smith and Don Lemonade podcast. Do you think that will fly? Hell no. No. Bussy buddies, nah. We're not doing this. Nobody listening to that. I'm sorry. I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear it. I don't even want to see them taking a picture together talking about some, oh, we gonna get this popping. Nah. Ain't nobody trying to see that. Ain't nobody on earth that is melanated trying to see this here. Nobody wants to see Bussy Buddies. Nobody. No, Miss Niecy, it's not about yeast cinnamon buns. No. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Since you're a member, and for those who are members, you will see the thumbnail come Thursday. So you'll understand. If you're not a member, you'll just see the thumbnail, but you won't know. The membership live will be Friday morning, probably around 10 o'clock. We'll do it 10 o'clock. I'm going to go to the gym first. We're going to do it 10 o'clock. I got a hell of an idea for the meme. I'm going to see how much I can get away with. Lord have mercy. Please bring your bucket. But anyway, family. Again, if you want to join, it's down in the description box of the latest upload. You can go over there and join us. You could see the live stream I did yesterday about the conservative who decided to run his mouth about the black at NASA folk. I'm actually going to put that on public, but I have other videos that are going to be put up there. It's going to be fun. Lewis Noel said, will it be part 2 of No Hygiene PC? Hygiene has to do with it, but it's not going to be about that. But don't ask me no more. I want y'all to be... You had snot. That's what that's the lie you telling. Okay, Elon. We know what you were doing. I'm just playing. Yes. Oh, William Moran. He became a member. He wants to see this. Okay. Yes. It'll be 99 cents. It'll help me invest in the platform and buy toys for the baby. Yes. He wants to see this. What's B Light? Am I on probation? No. I had another tier that was a little bit more. That was $5 a month, but that was going to be like exclusive live streams, like question and answer stuff. But I didn't have the time yet to do it, so I took it down. This one is just for investing and to get the live streams. When I go back to the upper echelon, $5, that's where the live streams are going to be, and 99 cents will be investing in the platform and probably just for uploads that I can't exactly put out in the stratosphere. Like kind of like what Torian does. But y'all know me, I'm a little more open with what I talk about because I ain't scared of YouTube. But anyway, let me get up out of here. All right, y'all. Take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence. And please don't forget, currently we are voting the couch. You said you like grossing us out. I just report the news. But yes, take care, stay safe, and you know what the agents of chaos do. She threw me off. Miss Niecy threw me off. Let's try this again. Take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence.